back to the podcast, and you're listening to the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. And today I got my homegirl, Elonthestylist. Say hey, girl.
Hey, everybody on Facebook.
Yes. So, Miss Elon, I want to thank you for being a part of my show.
Yes.
So,
thank you for having me, girl.
No problem. So, let's tell people who Elonthestylist is.
Well, I am a hairstylist. I do mostly extensions. I make custom wigs. I do blowouts, treatments, trims, pretty much all of the above. The only thing I don't do, you guys, I'm sorry, is braids. Yeah, I know everybody always asks me that. I do like, your basic braids that go under wigs, but I mostly focus on extensions. I'm an extension specialist.
Yeah, girl. So you don't do the twist either?
No, ma'am. I just don't have the patience, to be honest. It's
really to do it. It is a lot of time, like a lot of time and dedication. So, trust me, I know, because when people do my hair, they see me coming, they be like,
yeah, that's a lot.
If
you think about it, like looking at how much people charge now for braids and then how much I make per hour doing extensions, it doesn't make sense business wise.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay. So what are some of, you say, so wigs are like one of your best specialties? So let's hear more about your wig passion for wigs.
Yes. If you look at the photo that Natasha posted for the preview for today, I'm wearing a custom wig. It was a wig that I colored myself. Of course, I do custom coloring as well for extensions. And it was cut into like a short red bob. So I love being able to switch up my hairstyle anytime. Right. Most of my wigs are the kind that you can snatch off at night. And that is a good way to preserve not only the extensions, but also your real hair. So you can oil your scalp at night. You can take your braids down every 2 weeks if you want to. I have a service where my clients can come and I will take down their braids, shampoo and condition their hair, do a deep condition treatment, and wash the wig for them as well. Your wig can pretty much last you forever, and you're taking it off at night, so that means you don't have to put it in a shower cap. You don't have to put it in a bonnet, which makes the hair last a whole lot longer. So
I don't do wigs, but it sounds good. I have never worn a wig. I'm like so scared of wigs.
I love them. You can switch up your hair every day if you want to. You should see my closet. I have like all these wigs.
I can't. Like, I just feel like wigs don't look good on me.
You haven't had your wig made by Elonthestylist.
Okay. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Right. I mean, not everybody knows how to make wigs. No shade to anybody, but they have to be flat. I make them customized to your head shape and size also. So it's going to fit perfectly if you like.
See, the thing that I feel, and I guess it depends on the type of wig you get. Like, I hate when right here, and like when you have a part in the middle and like the side part, it looks so wiggy. Yeah. I hate that look, and I think that's why. And I think more so is those closures or whatever that people get. Like, it's like when you get that stuff laid and slayed by good people, it'd be laid and slayed, but sometimes it just look like super wiggy.
You need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing. Right. And I also don't recommend middle parts for first timers. Yeah. So someone like you would not get a middle part because it's the focal point of your head. So it's like the first thing people see. Right. Like you have to do a middle part very, very well.
Precise.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be like precise with it.
So a side part is more like, okay, you can't really.
It's more subtle.
Subtle.
Yes. And you know what? I never really paid attention until you said that, but it's true. Like when somebody has a middle part, you're looking directly at that middle part.
Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for instance, I can show you this is actually a sew-in, but my hair is parted on the side, but this is crochet right here. If you look closely, my hair is not even out. My hair is only like right here and right here. But you can't, like, first glance. Yeah. You're like, oh, that's her hair.
Yeah, right. And you, girl,
that's an illusion.
The first, I don't know if that was a wig or a sewing, but I think you said it was your hair, the one that looked natural. And you did the YouTube tutorial on how to do
that was the same type of sewing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
that hair. I love that hair so much because it was like very versatile and it looked super natural.
Yeah. Like, so my hair is out around the edges. This is the versatile sewing. So I was gonna say I'll show you guys pictures, but you can pull it up into a high ponytail and a high bun because I have a lot of hair left out on the edges. But I just crochet just the part right here so that you can I don't have to have like hair out right there.
Right.
So when you just like pull it together, you can't tell.
Absolutely not, because you look stunning. Yes,
thank you,
girl. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. So I want to see viewers. Yes, we have some viewers. They on and off, but So let me get into another question. So, how did we meet?
Oh yes, we met at Nikisha's Power Breakfast. Shout out to Nikisha.
Shout out, girl.
We love Nikisha so much. Every time I go to one of her events, it's like groundbreaking for something business wise. I've met so many people at just all of her events that like I just can like take with me on this journey, and I can go on their journeys as well. So we met at Nikisha's Power Breakfast. And I think you had braids, but we were having a conversation about your real hair. I think you showed me a picture. You had to have shown me a picture.
Probably did.
Because I feel like I saw it and I was like, I want to touch that. I want to do something with that hair. And then I said something about us doing a collaboration, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I think that was the second time we met. I think the second time we talked about the collaboration.
Okay.
And that's when I showed, because the first time we met at the brunch, I don't think we talked that much. I think at the end we talked for a little bit, got more acquainted, and I think we did exchange numbers. But I think when we really talked about collaborating was when we went to the other event. It was at the car dealership. Was it Chrysler or?
Oh yes.
Yes, I think
the business IBA Success magazine cover women's party. I've been to like every one of those cover women's parties after that. Just so you know, they're always amazing.
Really, I've only gone to that one.
Shout out to Jennifer Yan. We should tag her in this video. She is awesome as well. Another great Black woman in business, especially here in Orlando. But yeah, her events are, that one was thrown by Nikisha, and that's how we found out about it, I think. And she's amazing too. Yeah, I remember we talked at that event. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
And that's when I think that we exchanged, we had already exchanged numbers.
Yeah, we connected more then. Yeah.
Did we? Because I don't remember, but we did connect more than at the second one, where we was like, okay, well, maybe we could collaborate and do. Which we ended up doing, so you guys can either check out, what's your YouTube channel name?
It's Elonthestylist.
Elonthestylist. And then also on my Miss Black Wall Street page, we did a collaboration where she did a wash and go on my hair. My first experience, and it was super dope. I loved it.
Oh my gosh. Just so you know, I have since then improved my wash and go skills.
Really?
I started to offer it as a service. I think after that, because I was just like, I know the formula now. But I know now. I wish I could go back. I see what I
we can do it again.
Yeah.
We can do it again. I'm
like,
always
I see what
down.
I could have done better. Like it looked great. But I'm like, dang, now like this is the wash and go. Like, I'm like, now I know like what to do.
So you wash and go on your weave?
Oh yeah, girl.
Girl, you be doing it.
Yes, I did it this morning. This is basically curly, hair. I wouldn't say 4C. It's more like a 3C. But yeah, basically just real quick. I know this isn't a tutorial.
No, that's fine.
But you don't even have to shampoo your hair. I know it's called wash and go. This is old hair. Well, I won't say old hair, but I already shampooed it like last week. Basically, just wet it and section it and detangle it, and then put a little bit of some type of moisturizer or leave-in conditioner, and then gel, and that's it.
Really?
That's it. It's so easy.
I want to do it. My hair is so not curly when you wash it. It's like
you have to define it.
You have to define it, which you showed me because I didn't even know my hair could do those curls
you have a lot of definition. You just have to do the work.
It's too much work.
It is.
Like,
I know.
Son, don't nobody got time.
It is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It is. So I don't know if we can count our first meeting. I mean, I guess we can count it as meeting because we did exchange numbers at that time. But I don't know if this question you want to base it on the first time we met or the second time we met. But what did you think about me when we met? Like afterwards, interacting with me. Like, what were your thoughts?
So my first impression of you was when Nikisha told us about your viral video, and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. And you spoke about it a little bit, and I just thought that was so amazing how you didn't expect that to happen, and then really God just really did his thing there.
I was just like,
yeah, I thought that was amazing. And then plus you were basically advertising a new Black-owned beauty supply store. So I was like, wow, this is what she does. She advertises like small businesses, basically. With Miss Black Wall Street.
Right.
So not just from that, like just talking to you as well and seeing what your goals are and how you speak, like I can tell you're very professional. I'm just like, this is somebody that I can work with. I didn't know how or what we were gonna do.
Right.
You just want to find your what is it Nikisha calls it? Your business bestie. She called Keisha, her business bestie.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like you find people who you can move forward with, especially that are Black women. So we have that in common, and there's no real ceiling for us. It's like an invisible thing that we're breaking past. So there's a select few people who you can take with you, and that can, we can help each other in some way.
Right, and because how I felt was, and I went to an event this weekend. Shout out to Dr. Lakeisha Ross. Brandon Like a Beast event. I worked there, and of course I'm picking up some extra nuggets on the way. So I was in there, girl.
She's amazing.
Shout out, yes, like she is amazing. When I say those nuggets she be dropping, people just don't understand. Like you really have to be there to get those extra nuggets. But somebody was saying how Adina, I met her at the event. Shout out to Adina. She was saying how she had like a stigma, like with working with Black, or like just Black women in general, like, oh, they're not supportive of each other, we don't help each other. But she was saying as she started to get more involved and started to meet more people, she started to realize that there are a lot of supportive Black women. You just gotta be in that circle where you're able to connect with them.
Definitely.
And that was one of my biggest things, or that's how I felt about you, was, dang, this is a Black, female that is business oriented, business savvy, and she's a super sweet person. Like,
thank you.
Yes,
so are you.
A super sweet person, and we can possibly work on different projects. And that was like my first test, like, okay, let's see if we could collaborate on this wash and go and see how how it works out. And it ended up being super dope. I enjoyed working with you, even though you almost killed me with the light.
It was the light. I don't know what was going on.
So guys, she tried to. Man, I'm sitting there trying to work on my laptop because now that when you trying to be like an entrepreneur or a business person, you're always working. Like I'm working with her doing the wash and go, and I'm on my laptop working, editing something. And the whole light.
It just fell. I don't know what happened because did I step on something?
I don't remember, child.
But it was a softbox light, just like the ones we have here today. So there was no harm done. Just disclaimer out there. She's fine.
I'm fine.
Have a lawsuit. So,
and then we've got a few more projects coming up that we're working on together that I'm super excited about. So I know one of them is your baby. I don't know if you want to talk much about it because we were still like in the midst of getting things together. But I want to thank you for thinking of me to be collaborating with you on that project because I'm super excited.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. If you want to give any,
I'll speak about it.
On it.
So next year we are putting together a fashion show / hair show. I don't want to give too many details away, but it's going to be amazing, and we're focusing on Black businesses. So we are getting designers, models, and I will be providing wigs for the models, and it's going to be a great turnout. So definitely you guys will hear more about that soon for sure.
Coming up more information as we go along and start to promote it. You'll hear more. So let me go back to the hair. Your hair stuff. So I want to know, when did you realize you had a passion for doing hair?
So I knew this question was going to come up because I was thinking like, dang, when did this all start for me? It's going to be a really funny, quick little story. So when I was a little girl, my mom her best friend had a son, and I was so in love with him. He was so cute to me. And I made the mistake of telling my mom because she just like talks way too much. Shout out to my mother. Thanks for letting his mom know. That was so embarrassing. But anyway, we went on a family vacation, and we, so I'm stuck in the car with him for hours, probably like 8 hours. I think we're going from Georgia to Miami. And I don't know if I had a Barbie doll with me or what, but his mom, disclaimer, his mom owns a hair salon, right? So I guess he grew up in that environment. But he taught me how to braid hair.
Really?
So on the way there, so it was just, I remember some of those specific things. I remember we replayed this brand new CD over and over and over again. I think it was the first Brandy album. We replayed that over and over again. And he taught me how to braid hair. So I will never forget. I still love Brandy to this day. And I love hair to this day. So that's so funny. But after that, I learned how to braid hair. My mom just started buying me all these, like, remember the big heads? It was a Bratz one, my scene. I always asked for one. Then I finally got a real mannequin one year for Christmas, the kind they use in cosmetology school. And I remember my mom would always tell the story. She said that somebody asked me, what I want to be when I grow up? I said, I want to go, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to Harvard. And then she said, for what, baby? And I said, for cosmetology. She loves telling that story. But she was like, no, baby, you're gonna own the salon. You're not gonna like be a hairstylist. Right. So that's where I grew up, wanted to do. I ended up going to business school, and then I went to cosmetology school after that, and here I am. Yeah. Looking towards business ownership in the future. So that's the path I'm on right now.
So your name is Elonthestylist. However, you have the hair ministry at the end.
Yes. Of course.
So let's get some more details about the hair ministry. What is that about?
Okay. So, grew up Christian background. I was taught, and just in my relationship with God, I've been told that our purpose as His children are to make disciples of every nation, right? So, with my God-given passion, I feel as though I can do both, So, not only am I just using my creativity to make people feel beautiful, but I'm also trying to use my gifts to just, spread God's love as well. So one small thing I do right now when I have clients, I used to, I always play something on TV, right? Because I want it to be awkward, to make them comfortable. I set the scene. Right. So I used to play like Housewives of Atlanta, sometimes Love and Hip Hop, just whatever I like to watch back then, which I don't really watch reality TV anymore. But then I realized like this is like a whole 2 hours of time that I could be giving them something positive, you know? So I started to show sermons, right? So I'm just like, at first it felt weird because I don't know if the person is a Christian or not. Right. Or if they, I can even have an atheist in my chair. You never know if I can offend someone. But then I realized that I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like if someone doesn't want to watch this, they'll say it. They'll speak up. But it's worth the risk because 9 times out of 10, that person will be like, in their phone or something. Then all of a sudden, be like, oh, amen. And that's the best feeling for me. When I know the client and I know kind of a little bit about their life, I know what they're dealing with, and I play what God tells me to play on TV or whatever. They may be in their phone, they may be distracted, but then they look up and they're like, I can feel that they're watching it, they're receiving whatever it is. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, what really warms my heart is at the end, they're like, what is this? And I'll be like, you know what, girl, I'm gonna text you the rest. So I always text them the link to the YouTube video, and it always ends up being a blessing for my life because I feel like their lives are changed a little bit, just from that message. Yeah, just doing something for them with the TV. And then I also have my YouTube channel, which I'm trying to be a little slick with. I do mostly hair videos, but I will also slide in a little Jesus in the end to some of those videos. Like most of my videos, I have like the hair tutorials. It's not really anything religious based, but I have, for instance, I have a video about loving your hair. So I talk about loving your hair, taking care of your hair. I talk about relationships, and then I talk about agape love, which is God's love. So it goes back to loving yourself again, because this is how God loves you. This is how you should receive love, and it just kind of goes full circle. So I have a couple different things that I try to relate to both. Right. I don't really do dreads. I know you guys are like, what does she do?
Well, you said you do the sewing.
Yeah, I can definitely recommend someone for dreads. If y'all type in Caramel Jones, she's located in the Sanford, Florida area. She was my cosmetology school teacher, and she's great at dreads.
Okay. So I know we talked about the hair ministry, but so I guess the next question was, how did you come up with the name? But
I don't know. It just kind of came to me. It doesn't really feel unique because it's like this really is my ministry. It's a ministry for me, so it just kind of like felt like it made sense. I don't know. There was no special story
behind it. Okay. I mean, it is unique because I've never when I heard it, it's like a little twist. Elonthestylist and the hair ministry. It was definitely a twist. Let me see what I got. So, as we already know, you are natural. Shout out to the natural here.
Yes.
And I know we had discussions before, but I want to know tell me about your big chop. What made you decide to do your big chop? And a little bit about your natural hair journey so far.
Okay. It's funny you say that because I was going to mention the YouTube video that I made about it because this is another one that I kind of was able to slide Jesus into. Mm-hmm. So I have a series on my channel about facing your fears. Mm-hmm. And the fear that I referred to in my video was the big chop. So I know a lot of people are afraid of the big chop, which myself included. I was definitely afraid of that. So I had, basically I went through this phase after I graduated from high school. My mom never let me color my hair or get like nose ring. I had all that. I still have my nose ring. But we just talked about that.
Well, you just said you're thinking about taking it out.
Yep. So I colored my hair a light brown in college. And then when I went to cosmetology school, everybody, ask any girl, everybody dyes their hair red in cosmetology school because it's like a wild color. Everyone wants to try it. It's so funny. Like all my classmates went through red. I think I was one of the first in my little class group. I went like orange. They called me Carrot Top the first day I colored my hair. Yes, it was crazy bright. And I went through that phase for a couple of years. My hair was red, and red is a color that is very hard to keep up with. You have to continue to deposit color onto your hair so it fades easily. So basically, if you shampoo your hair with hot water, it will fade right out. So you have to always use cold water. If I ever wanted to wash my hair in the shower, that's like, you can't do it.
Right.
So it faded. And any color you do, you have to continue to color your roots. And then if you have to lighten your hair and then deposit red. So when you lighten your hair, it causes damage if you don't restore the moisture. I know, but I'm not speaking a different language still. Right. But it dries it out and it causes a lot of breakage and damage. And that's exactly what happened. So I had to, I just endured a lot of breakage. My hair was just very thin. And then I was doing the unthinkable, you guys. I was relaxing my edges. And that was because I felt like it just looked better, right. So, what did I do? So I went and got my hair done to the goddess locks last year, and you have to blow out your hair for that. So I was really kind of natural. Like I had a little section that was dead, but I was natural, and I had to blow out my hair for the goddess locks, and that was my first time blow drying it. And I realized that where my new growth was, it was thick and strong, and my red hair was like see-through. Wow. I'm like, dang, my hair, I didn't realize my hair was so thin.
Until you blow dry. When your hair natural, and then when you blow dry, that's when you see like, damn.
Yeah, it was such a huge difference. So I was like, oh no, this gotta go. And then with the goddess locks, they were black. So you could see my red peeking out, like when the hair was starting to unravel. I was like, this looks so stupid, and I wanted to get redone. So I was like, as soon as I take these out, I'm cutting my hair. Right. So I did my big chop, but I did it in the middle of me recording the Facing Your Fears series. So, I did it right before then actually, and then that's when I talked about it in the video. And then I finally revealed my big chop in the end of it. So, because it's really hard to style big chop hair if you don't know what you're doing. Some people are like professionals. But
so how short did you cut it? Like
hey, I'll be like, I'll insert a film here. I'm so used to my YouTube channel. So it was really short. It was like right here.
Dang, girl. Yeah. So going into that, because I know we talked a little bit about that show Napoli Ever After. And yes, it was. And I remember when, obviously it was all about hair, and I remember when, in the beginning, when her hair was straight, that confidence was the truth. She was walking through, heads was turning, got me feeling like a man when I walked through. You know what I'm saying? Like she was walking through and everything was like stopping, like, ooh.
That movie was me.
Yes. And I kind of felt like that when you were talking. I was waiting for you to say, I just wanted a mirror one day and just
turn it out. I've never been that dramatic in my life. Plus, I wear wigs. I know that I need anchor braid hair. Like, I can't just shave my head. I did go through, I wear frontal sometimes, so it would have worked, but it just seemed scary. I feel like I wanted to grow it out a little, to be able, because I wanted braids or something,
Right. So let's talk about the transition in your what would I call it? The transition and your confidence. How did it do anything? That's why I brought up the Napoli ever after. Because in that show, after she did her big chop and she cut off all her hair, her confidence went down, like completely. Yes. It was like she was her hair, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's relatable because a lot of women, like,
absolutely,
we think we are our hair. So if our hair not right, it's like, girl, you know, everything's going on.
I know all about this because I'm a hairstylist.
Right.
To be honest, this is like people come into my house or into my chair and they're like, you know, their head down, they have their scarf on, they're like glass, they're hiding, and then when they leave, they're like, they're all on Snapchat. Yes. Specifically for myself, the first thing I want to say is one thing that I've learned: confidence comes from within.
Yes.
It really has a lot to do with your upbringing. If your parents told you you were beautiful growing up, just like in the movie, the little girl, her dad was just like telling her, like, you don't need all that, you're beautiful. Right. But then when we go to school, unfortunately, kids are very cruel.
Yes.
And I remember when I first got a relaxer, I told my mom, I want to look like the white girl. I said those exact same words. Wow. I was like, that movie, it's the same.
It's the same, right? But I think as Black women, we all went through that at that time in our life. But now natural hair is popping, like. Yeah. But at that time in our life, that's what it was. It's like, yo, I need that bone straight, like bone straight, like. And when you get like a little bit of roots coming in, them natural roots coming in, it's like, nope, it's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've all been through that.
I went through a phase where I was obsessed with black glue, the hair glue, and I used to get a relaxer from my mom, and then I would go and glue tracks in between my hair. I thought I was just being like freshest thing walking down the street, until like my mom would rush me every time I was time for a relaxer, and she'd be like, hurry up. So I would have to rip my tracks out, girl, and like quickly get that glue out so she could go do the relaxer. There was photos. I had bald spots all on the edges.
Yes, and that glue is not good.
Like, it's so not good.
It is not good. I remember a lot of women who, because I was never with the glue. I never was big on wigs and sew-ins. I would get sew-ins, but I wasn't like big on it. But I know like a lot of women who get the sew-in, and they would, back then where you would glue in the tracks, and all this like out, because that glue, it was like, is it really hair glue? Like, is it really made for our hair?
It was really bad.
That hair glue is just, I used to just take people edges out.
Yeah, it's really about the removal, you guys. That's the process. I will give away a secret. I hope people are really paying attention to this part. If you have to use hair glue for whatever reason, do not use conditioner, do not use oil, do not use hairspray to remove it. Remove it with rubbing alcohol, you guys. My teacher in cosmetology school taught me that, and it changed my life. Literally, like people did. She didn't want to tell people, but I just want to save you guys edges. I really do care.
Edges, save the edges. Hashtag save the edges.
If you pack the rubbing alcohol on the top and the bottom of the track, and let it sit for a few minutes, and then just pull it right out. It does not give you any kickback, and you can just comb the glue right out, and just be careful. That's all.
Yes, so that's definitely a good nugget for these people out here, because I'm telling you, that glue really takes people edges out.
Yeah.
So I don't think you told like what it did for your confidence.
Oh yeah, I did go back to that. The big chop and the confidence. Okay.
Yes.
So one thing I realized was that every time I was able to wear my natural hair, and I, made myself up. I just want to make sure I had my makeup, the outfit. I just put the confidence all together in one package. It was the most me I ever felt. I just remember the difference between me with a weave and me with my natural hair was, with a weave, I felt like there's nothing against weave. I'm wearing weave now. But back before I had like my full confidence together, I felt like this is my confidence,
right,
And then when I did my big chop and I put myself all the way together, I felt like this is me, period. This is me, this is my confidence, I am whole, I am beautiful without any additions. And that's with me finally figuring out how to style. I love my wash and go on my natural hair now. My natural hair has grown a little bit more.
It has a little bit. It has grown a lot. I was like, okay,
It's been a year now, as of October 1st this year. So I want to see more growth, but it's grown.
Right. It's growing and it's thick. It's healthy.
Thank you.
My
That's
hair
really all that
is
matters, you guys. Help. Your hair is not straight.
I mean, I had my cousin cut it this weekend. Like the edges, like they were really. I was gonna ask you to do it, but I was so. I mean, literally almost depressed. I was like, yo, I had gotten trimmed because the edges started to feel like coarse and brittle, like, and it like when I did like my twist out or my braid out, it just would mat up and like it wasn't like the truth, like it was.
I know this isn't my real hair, right? Even sure.
I can't with you.
This is someone's real hair. So when you get this hair, it doesn't come like perfect, you know. But yeah, same thing with your natural hair. I recommend a trim every 6 months with your natural. And that's because we're not putting a lot of heat on the ends. Right. But when you do twist outs, if the ends are like fuzzy still, one thing you can do is put more moisture there, and you do like rods or something like that on the ends to make it more smooth. But if you have like, for instance, like a long stringy piece at the end, you'll want to clip it. And you can clip as you go. Yeah,
I did that the first time, clip as I go, and then when I did my first straighten my hair, it was just so like
different,
choppy. And so then I was like, ooh, I don't like that. Right.
But you can only, when I say clip as you go, that's just dusting. So you only want to clip like a tiny little bit. Right. Don't go for like, cut this piece, you know, just gotta be careful.
I don't know, but she did trim my hair. Shout out to Jasmine, thank you. And so when she did like a twist out, you see now that the curls are like defined.
Yes.
It wasn't like that before, and she did this on Sunday.
Okay.
So but with the ends when they were like brittle.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. It was like literally like a Brillo pad. I was like, damn. Yeah. And I started to get depressed, like, damn, I feel like I gotta start all over again. But she did
just a little trim.
Yeah, she did a trim and it's like so much better. But girl, but I was so mad, like, Tasha, you done cut your hair off last year to kind of get it back healthy, and now you're back to, I think what I do, which I need to stop doing, but I just hate the shrinkage, is I blow dry my hair. So when I do like a twist out or a braid out, I blow dry it and then braid it because I don't like the shrinkage.
Yeah,
like,
and that's safe as long as you're using heat protector.
And I'm not. I need to start using. I know. Don't judge my life.
It's so simple. It's a quick step. And I because I know this, I drench my hair in heat protectant.
Really?
Because I blow dry my hair sometimes for this style, or when I was doing the kinky straight hair, I had to blow dry my hair. But I will never touch my hair with any heat. I mean, the blow dryer is not as bad as the flat iron, I will say, but because it's still direct heat, it's not just like touching with the plates, but it still is damaging. So I recommend Beyond the Zone. It comes in an orange bottle. You get it from Sally's, and it's like an oil base. So it's not like, it's not expensive.
I'm definitely gonna pick that up, Beyond the Zone, because I do blow dry my hair every time I wash it.
Yeah, that'll contribute to the
and it was really damaged. Well, not really, I wouldn't say really, but it felt like it was. But like I said, now that she did the trim,
it's better.
It's better. But girl, I was almost to the point. Talene probably thought like, Talene, I'm just gonna cut it off and start over. I'm just like, can't.
Don't do that.
I know. Okay, so we went into the transition with you rocking your natural hair. So you talked about it a little bit. But let's talk about your YouTube channel. And I actually because I know you have a big YouTube following. What?
What do you mean? I know.
Yes, you do. You have not big, but I mean, you have over 600.
Let me tell you why that is.
You're right, and you told me. That's why that was the question. How did that come about? How did you get that?
So when I was in college, I don't remember, sophomore year or what, I started my YouTube channel. And from then until now, all those videos are gone. They're not gone, but they're hidden because they're ridiculous. Yes. So I basically, what was the focus? I think it was like hair. Yeah, I think it was just mostly hair. But it was, the first video was recorded with my laptop camera, like the front MacBook camera. And I was just a silly young mess. I don't know how to explain it, but I was just giggling the whole time, and like it's a very blurry video. I can't even describe my eyebrows. That video, oh my gosh, it was horrible. But you know, I just get my feet wet, and I knew I wanted to speak, you know, in front of the camera. Like I felt natural there. And then I had no like backdrop. I was just in my dorm room, so it didn't look professional. Then I, you know, grew up a little bit. I ended up getting a camera. But then the last video that I made, I just remember, ooh, my makeup was so thick and gross. Like I just knew I wanted to start over. So yeah, I just kind of started over completely, and I already had a following, so just a little following.
It's a good following, girl. I'm struggling in the YouTube world. As we say that, for those who are listening, go follow my YouTube channel, The Traveling Hands of a Single Mom, and podcast, and like or subscribe, whatever you do.
The only reason, sorry to interrupt you, the only reason why I say it's not a large following is because once I started my new YouTube channel, The Hair Ministry, I looked at the qualifications for you to monetize your videos. They had significantly increased. So you have to have at least, I think 1,000 followers or subscribers, but then you have to have like 1,400 hours watched or something like that. Wow. And before this, I had monetized my videos, so I wasn't making any money, but I had monetized them, so I was eligible for monetization. And now it's gonna take me forever because I might have like 1,000 minutes watched at this very moment. Like hours? What the heck, YouTube? Okay.
So wait, how much you get charged for how much do they pay you? Do you know?
I don't know. It's not much, and it's a lot of different ways to be paid from YouTube. There's the turning on your monetization. There is what do you call it? When you have a company that what is the word that I'm looking for? When they pay you to review their products, sponsorships. You can send sponsorship letters to different companies, but you have to have a certain number of followers, again, subscribers, again. Right. And they have to choose you to basically review their product. They'll send you products, they'll pay you, different things like that. So it comes in different ways, but I'm just not there yet.
Okay. Well, I damn sure ain't there yet. I'm far from it, but it is a process. And it's definitely a process, and I feel like the consistency is what helps you grow. Like, absolutely. The more consistent you are is how people just start to see you like, yes.
I can agree with that. I had a video, I was very consistent back in the day, but I had this one video that I recorded at my aunt's house. So everyone was asleep and I was trying to be quiet, and I had gum in my mouth, right? So I was smacking a lot in this video, and I came back a year later and I had thousands of comments on this video, and like my subscribers went way up. I don't know if it was because of that, but I had thousands of comments. People talking about, girl, you smack too much. I can't believe her mom taught her that. It was people going off on me, and I was just like, whoa, this video had like 20,000 views. Wow. But it was because of the title. So you look at just a quick little YouTube tip. You look at what people right now are searching for. So I know a lot of people are searching for tutorials, especially natural hair, things like that. And you make your title kind of go with the trend. Mm-hmm. But then, because I'm doing a ministry, I make my title the trend, and then I slide in something that you're not expecting. Right, the video may be about something totally different.
I'm gonna start doing that because I'm just like, what? I started doing like the I guess not hashtag on YouTube. It's like the @ and then right and then whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start doing that because I wasn't doing it before.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, let me start doing that to see if it'll bring in more people. But I'm gonna have to put in stuff that don't even relate, but I'm just gonna put it in there just to bring people to the channel. So let's
do it, girl. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not scared.
Let's talk about your love life.
Crickets. What about it?
Well, I mean, now, you know, I know a little bit more insight now. I done made my questions, and I done found out some information after the fact. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to take my question out.
No, you're good. What's the question?
It was, let's talk about your love life and how did you meet your biggest supporter?
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, that's cute. That's cute.
That was actually what I said.
Well, the definition currently of my love life is I am single, but I am not available because yeah, single, not available. There's a little disclaimer there. I am 100% focused on God right now, so I can't even think about like talking to someone or growing with another man right now. I did just get out of a relationship. Great guy, he's amazing. Shout out to Eddie Bose Music. Yeah, and he is a huge supporter of everything I do. Just things just didn't work out. Nothing negative to say about him. Nothing against him at all. Nice. Still a great guy. He's gonna make somebody a great husband one day. But I just feel like God is just growing me right now, so I just need to focus on me.
Absolutely. And sometimes you have to focus on self because that's how you grow. Like, I always tell people and I always say it, like after Sky died and I parted, it was like a time in my life that I was like, all right, Tasha, you are going through the same crap over and over and over again. Like, you really just literally need to reflect. That's how I end up making this Starburst mirror. So anybody interested, I made that mirror in the back. Thank you. Yes. And in the midst of that, that's when I started to realize, okay, who I am, what I like, what I want, out of life, what I want to expect. I'm still on that journey of trying to figure these things out, and it's been almost 3 years, but it's still like when you lost sight of who you were for like 20 something years, and it takes a long time to kind of get there. So even after years of being so lost in other people, because I always tell people, like, I used to be defined by my relationship. Like whatever I was going, like whoever I was with at that time, that's what I was doing. That's who I was, was at that time. And I started to realize, like, yo, that's not how it's supposed to be. You're literally supposed to know who you are and what you bring to the table.
We have to be whole.
Right. And I have posted a video where I think it was TD Jakes, and he was saying that, people say, oh, you're half, but he was like, no, you're whole, you're whole, and you come together, you know what I'm saying? And you elevate.
Absolutely.
So,
I have to say something about that real quick. To my single ladies, this is the most important time in our lives because we will never get this time back. Let's say you rush and get into a relationship, you end up getting married and having kids, you don't have your alone time anymore where you're able to just focus on yourself. Even just not having a man in the house, when you're married, you have to worry about everything together and what you guys do as a couple, what he has to do. You have to worry about his schedule, his things for the entire family. But right now, it's just a time to focus on you and for you, Natasha, you and your kids, because you're able to spend time with just them. You're able to groom them as women and show them that they don't have to settle for anything less than what they deserve. And for me specifically, I have to focus on my business. I have to grow this thing. I have to form myself as a woman. I have to just get 100% with God. Right now, he's my husband. So if I was to go and do anything outside of what he has in his will for me, I'm cheating. I'm trying to learn to be a faithful wife right now. So I'm growing myself into, that woman. So I'm reading this book called Lady in Waiting. It talks about that story of Ruth and how she found, Boaz found her while she was working in the garden. So once we find our purpose and find what God wants us to do, what we're supposed to be doing for him, serving him, that's when the one that we're supposed to be will find us in that right position. So I'm in no hurry.
Absolutely. Take your time. Take your time. And I will also say, like, for me, like, even doing a podcast or anything that I'm doing right now, I would definitely not be a part of my life had I not taken the time out. Because, like I said, I didn't know anything that I wanted to do. I didn't have no clue. I would tell my best friend all the time, like, yo, I know, like, I feel like I need to be doing something, but I don't know what. Absolutely. And after Right, I hope so. I really do. I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy having people come in and just talk about, you know, what they offer.
This is fun.
Yes, and you thought you was gonna be like nervous.
Yeah,
but you actually like you're open and you're doing an awesome job. But if I hadn't taken the time out to kind of like just like, Tasha, what do you need? What do you want for yourself?
Yeah.
This would be none. Like, I took the time. First, I worked on the physical. Like, I always hated my teeth, and I took the time. I said, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna invest, I'm gonna do all the work, I'm gonna get these braces. I started focusing on my weight and, you know, stuff like that. But these are things that I wouldn't have been worried about prior, you know, when I was so focused on being in a relationship.
Same here.
I am dating now, but
oh really?
Yeah.
But
right. But you know what I'm saying, I did take a while to kind of like groom myself. We're getting close. I'm gonna skip on the long distance relationship stuff. We're gonna skip that. And so we're getting close to the end, but I do want to talk about, when did your relationship with God start? Like, when did you start that journey?
Both of my parents, so my parents are divorced, but both of them took me to church every Sunday. And what's interesting is that when you go to college, you are able to make your own decisions. And for some reason, I just always felt like I still wanted to be in church. Like, I wasn't that close with God growing up. It was just kind of like, oh, I'm here. You know, what's so funny is that my mom would always be like, sing, you know, like when they're doing praise and worship. And I would just be like, tight-lipped, like, I don't know. And now, you guys, all my friends will tell you, I take off my shoes and I run to the front. I'm like right at the front of the altar, like giving my all. My voice is still a little bit gone from this weekend because we had a conference at my church. And it was so amazing, just pouring everything out to God until I was empty. Literally, I slept for the last 2 days. Anyway, I just, you know, like I said, I went to college, still went to church, and wasn't taking it too seriously until I got baptized a few years ago. I felt like I just wanted to be 100% all in for God. So I started to really feel convicted in the different like things I was dabbling in, trying to like explore my my adulthood. Just having fun with different things. And now that I'm closer with Him, those desires have completely changed. So it's just that I felt like I was living a double life at one point. So I would just be out here partying, you know, doing everything I wanted, and then I would go to church, and I'm just like, when I'm at church, I can't talk about what I did the night before. So it didn't feel like I'm living one life. You know? And now I'm more obviously on this side completely, but I can't even enjoy the same things I used to enjoy. It's like God really does change the desires of your heart as you get closer to Him. So, one thing I do want to address, one of my friends was saying that she feels like Christianity is like a box that you're in, where you're just like, you have all these expectations and rules. But one thing on the contrary that I feel now that I really notice about is there is no box. I live the most free life. Like, I have so much joy in my heart that I like pour out to everybody. Like, anyone that knows me will tell you, like, I just have a joyous spirit, and I can only give that credit to God because He's inside of me now. Like, I don't have the desire to, you know, do anything crazy. Like, I used to really have like a kind of crazy life, but people don't know that. But now I'm just like, I can't even look at that the same way. I'm just like, I don't judge anybody that still does, because I know that was me. But I enjoy other things, you know.
And you know, actually, that kind of went in. Your answer kind of went in, because my next question was, how has your Christianity journey changed your perspective with your life decisions? So you kind of answered that already, but basically, you now think, you know, differently, you make different decisions.
And it's not even me making the decision, just because once you accept the Holy Spirit into your heart, He makes the decisions for you, basically. He gives us free will, but the closer you get with Him, that means reading your word and actually praying, spending time with Him, you get to know Him. So in your heart, you know what it is that He wants. So I can be faced with a decision right now, and I can know instantly if God would be approving of it or not. Or He would even, if this is what He wants for me.
What would Jesus do?
Right. I have like several of those bracelets, but it's like engraved in my mind now, because I know better. At the end of the day, there would be things I would do, and my friends would be like, you know better. I'm like, dang, you're right, I do know better. That is so obvious now what the answer is as to what I should do, because He is inside of me. His spirit is showing me like, this is right. That doesn't feel right. You second guessing it.
Right.
And you feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. That's a no.
Right.
Straight up.
So nice. So I did just want to address one thing because I know that we had the yoga talk before. And then I did the yoga episode, and you gave your opinion on it or whatever. It was one thing that I was like, okay, Elon, no. So I was like, let me just, but it's not a big, not deep. But when you said, I just wanted to clarify, because I did say when I had the episode, I was like, I had went to yoga with the whole thing with the video going viral, and I said that like as if I gave the credit to yoga. But what I should have said, and I should have elaborated on, it wasn't that I was giving the credit to yoga. I felt like I've been in a space of trying to find myself, but I've never felt that that connection with myself that I felt when I tried it that day. And I feel like if you listen to the episode, and I think I told you this before, that when we were at the I Am Brave event, they always say like set your intention. And with that being said, when I set my intention, like when I go into that, I become to me closer with God because I talk to Him and I pray. And I should pray every day, but I had gotten to a place in my life where I wasn't praying every day. And then I went on a cruise. Shout out to All Because of a Man family. We went on a cruise and we talked about prayer, and it was like, listen, you could pray, like it don't matter, like you could pray in the shower, you just because I was telling them like I'll pray at night when I'm going to bed, but then by the time I start praying, I'm laying in the bed. By the time I turn around, I'm not even half into the prayer, 2 sentences in, and I'm dead knocked out. So I was telling them that, and they were like, well, maybe you should try praying like, I pray in the shower, or I pray, places where I feel like, I can't.
It's like the best.
I did realize that the shower, so
it's spiritual,
right?
Cleanses it,
right? So at that time in the yoga, I was like talking to Him, like telling Him like, God, this is what I want. I mean, it had nothing to do with the video, because obviously I didn't, like I said, I had no intentions for that video to even, go anywhere. But I just felt like that experience that day in yoga gave me like a closer bond. Now I wouldn't say relationship because it was that one experience, but it gave me like a closer bond. It kind of like opened up to me like, okay, this is what you can experience if you come closer. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the yoga was for me. So like I just want to clarify that I wasn't given the credit to yoga. The credit I was given to yoga was that it gave me an opportunity to kind of like slow down and kind of like think like, what do you want? Because like I said, my mind has never been so still. Until I had that experience, because my mind is always going. It's like, whatever. But in that moment, I was still, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, now think, Tasha, what do you want? You know?
Go ahead.
And that's what it did for me.
I was gonna say there's an app called Abide. Have you heard of Abide?
No, is it what you have sent me?
No, that's just a regular Bible app. Abide is a Christian meditation app. So the same thing that you're doing in yoga when you quiet yourself, and I think with you having kids, you have to do it like first thing in the morning before they get up, or after they're asleep, because you need complete silence. But you're meditating on God's word. So the only thing I was saying with yoga is dangerous because it's a different religion completely. They're actually doing, it's like a secret prayer to a different God, which is why like people don't know that it's a watered down version because it's Americanized. But what you can do to get the same effect is use Abide. You get into a quiet space, do the same thing, get like a blanket out, and it guides you through exactly what you should do. You're gonna close your eyes, you're going to focus on God immediately, and then they're gonna tell you different things about the Bible while you're getting quiet. So it's the same thing.
Okay.
And without the positions, I don't know if you know, certain body positions align your spine up with those different spirits. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a real spiritual act. So that's why I was trying to tell you, like, there's so much people don't know about yoga, especially yoga instructors, because, even that lady was saying she's had discomfort about it, and I'm just like, why is that? You know, like there's
Right.
other Christian people in her life telling her to be careful. Why is that? You know, it all has a reason, because one thing I believe is that nothing that God approves of or tells us to do is going to give us any type of issue.
Right,
you know
or bad
I mean?
feeling. Mm-hmm.
So I know what you're looking for. Like you definitely, it's so imperative to get into a quiet space with God, to shut your mind down, so it's just you and Him. That's why I said the shower is a lot of privacy. And you can just talk to Him there. But one thing, I have to do the same thing. Every morning before I start working, I try to get up at 7 a.m. when it's still kind of dark. It's very quiet in my house, and it's just me and God.
Right.
I get into my devotionals at that time. I have very soft worship music, just slow worship music, not the banging, you know, gospel. You know, but that is exactly, it's my meditation time.
Right.
Same thing.
Nice. Well, like I said, I'm on like a whole journey, you know, and I think it just, you know, it goes through its different phases of what you are comfortable with, what you feel is working for you. You may realize, like I listened to the Friend Zone, and I remember when Fran was saying she started to get into Scientology.
Oh, Jesus.
But she got out of it. But when she realized, you know what I'm saying, like you go through your different things, you know, the experience.
And that's okay to learn, you know, about different things. I think knowledge is power, so the more we know, just like you got into yoga, I did my own research on yoga too, because I wanted to know. Actually, I told you about a whole book about it. I wanted to know, because it's something that's very powerful. And there's a lot of different things that are out there that we have access to, because we need to just grab the knowledge. You know? Right. We gotta read more, people.
Yeah, you know what they say, it's in them books. It's in them books.
That's where all the power is, and knowledge.
Nice. Well, did you want, I know you kind of gave some of your handles or whatever so people could get in contact with you. You did throughout the episode, but if you want to go ahead and again give your handles where people can contact you if they're interested to book Elon the Stylist.
So yes, my Facebook page is Elon the Stylist. My Instagram page is Elon the Stylist. I'll spell out ELONTHESTYLIST. It's probably gonna be a tag in the,
it's already tagged
in the video, just so y'all know. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Elon the Stylist, and that's where you find specifically the hair ministry, but it is Elon the Stylist on YouTube as well. Nice. And my website is www.elonthestylist.com. At my website, you can make an appointment, you can purchase hair, or you can send me an email there as well.
And once again, let them know the services that you provide for those who probably just listening in.
Oh yeah, I do extensions. I make custom wigs, custom color. I do blowouts, treatments, trimming, and I do natural hair as well.
Nice. So guys, once again, I always like to thank everyone that supports and comes in, listens, comments, like, share, you know, all that. Thank you for supporting me. This is like my baby. It's like my dream. I love it. So I'm gonna try to be consistent with my days. Next week it will be Tuesday instead of Wednesday, because it's Halloween and you know, people are out and about and doing things with their families. So I'm not going to do next Wednesday. I'm going to do Tuesday. Stay tuned. I'm going to have Mateen, which is a fashion stylist, and Tiffany, who is a model, and they'll be coming in and we'll be doing some, like they're going to, Mateen is going to do like some looks on Tiffany to show different versatility and style. So I think she's gonna do like one look that you can change up. So I'm super excited. So next week, Tuesday, 8:30, we'll be back here again with a new guest. So keep watching, stay tuned, and keep supporting me. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. We out.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And thanks for being on my show.
Yes.
Before my mom's cancer diagnosis, she was a hard worker. She loved to be around her family.
We went from always being a close-knit family to going through everything in life together to losing each other one at a time.
The waiting is very, very frustrating right? Because you're waiting for an outcome that's going to dictate your life, pretty much, right?
I called her and she said my biopsy came back positive, and I remember just freezing, and I was sitting at my desk and I said, oh my God, like this isn't real.
I was scheduled to get my results on September 6th of 2017. 2 days prior, on September 4th of 2017, approximately at 10 a.m., my dad passed away.
I went in not knowing how I was going to feel afterward, but at that point I knew the breast had to come off. Everybody contributed. We all became like one unit. So they took turns with the kids for school. One was cooking, one was cleaning.
Love on them as much as you can, because once they're gone, you can't get that time back.
Most people survive their disease, but it's a temporary thing. You're going to be diagnosed, you're going to do your treatment, you're going to get your life back, and you will actually be in a different place in your head.